Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. The winter season is done. So why don't we rant about how bad some things were, how good some things were, and why the world fucking sucks. Yes, we're starting with Carson already. It's ARPG. It's episode 16. I'm Guru. He's Chewy.
Hello.
How are you today, Chewy?
I'm eating a banana.
Are you eating a banana sensually?
No, just it's a banana. It's not a...
Well, you know, it's the winter. It's the end of the winter season. The birds are chirping. The flowers are out. So why don't we talk about what happened in the winter season? But first, I want to talk about one thing, because a certain anime has finally ended. It is finally over, Chewy. Black Clover is officially done.
Oh. Wow.
170 episodes is all the anime will be having.
Do they actually have an actual ending?
No, God, no. There's still a ton left.
Oh.
But I want to talk about Black Clover because, you know, it's ended, so why don't we give it some shouting? But the reason I want to give it a shout is because the show is one of the perfect examples of, like, something that's grown on people over time, because we all remember how just hated Black Clover was at the start of its run, right?
Yeah, the whole...
Like, it was just laughed out of the park because it was bad.
It was very bad. Can
you speak up? I can barely hear you, by the way.
It was very bad.
Yeah. But then the way I described it, it just kind of stuck to its guns and eventually won people over.
Okay.
Like, remember, it started out bad, but now it's considered to be better than, like, well, the mess that's Boruto.
Oh, it's Boruto, though.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Boruto, apparently. But, like, what I found so interesting about Black Clover was very straightforward. The main theme was always just never giving up, never surrender. And you can see that in Asta, who, you know, the whole world has told. The best phrase I've heard about Asta is what Gigagux said in his video 2 years ago. Everything about the world is against Asta, right? He can't use magic. That literally means he's a second-class citizen to some people. And rather than just sitting there pouting, he's never stopped moving forward. He's never stopped pushing forward. And even when he lost the use of his arms, he still said, you know what? I'm going to beat this. And that kind of felt like Black Clover's whole nature in a nutshell.
I mean, yeah, pretty much the entire thing.
And I mean, I still think it probably would have been better if they went the seasonal route, because we wouldn't have to. They're clearly stopping it now because they've almost caught up to the manga.
So, you think they'll come back with another one when the?
Well, they're already coming back with the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, there's already a movie confirmed. We don't know when it's airing, but it's clear that they're stopping now due to the fact that they are literally right next to the manga.
Oh.
Like, if I remember, they're only like 20 to 30 chapters away from the manga.
I just realized that this photo is just slightly bigger than that one. Oh well. I will never be able to make that better.
But yeah, no, I just kind of want to talk about Black Clover just simply because, you know, it went on for so long. And it's officially over for now, with a movie coming sometime at a later date.
Wait, movie coming in a later date. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to do.
Though, let's talk about this winter.
As I continue to move the pictures. So format we're gonna do it is best. Well,
we'll talk about each show that we watched.
Okay. I thought
but
we were gonna...
then at the end, we'll say what we thought was the best, what we thought our favorite character was, our favorite opening, the show that made us want to gouge our eyes out.
What about ending?
We can talk about endings, but I haven't listened to a single one.
Oh.
But, and then we'll talk about our favorite show, since sometimes the favorite show is different than the best show. So we're going to start at the top, obviously, Attack on Titan.
I only really watched one episode, and that was it.
Wow. Well, I watched the whole thing, and I can't deny it's as good as people are claiming. The present, I want to talk with Attack on Titan. Its main thing that I felt was on top of the world this time was its visual storytelling. You know the phrase "show don't tell," right?
Yes.
Oh, they lived by that. The amount of little things you can get by actions, words, or just the visual in front of you this season was out of this world, especially with Marley.
Ooh.
Since the first 4 episodes were pretty much there to introduce Marley, since this was the first time we really got an in-depth look at them, right? And I've mentioned before, Marley are pretty much Nazis.
Yeah.
And the way they showed it was really cool, because rather than just showing Marley being brutal, they showed the effects of what Marley has been doing. The indoctrination of all the Eldian children, to the point where all the Eldian children, represented through Gabby, hate Eldia. To the point where they want to kill them to be honorary Marleyans. And then another thing is just showing just the complete, like the opening video is outstanding. And one of my favorite parts is when you just see pretty much a Nazi march where the soldiers are where soldiers are pretty much goose stepping with rifles. And it's just like, you get this feeling that Marley is all about control.
Right.
And I also just find a little bit of hypocrisy kind of funny. Because the whole goal of Eren and Zeke is to euthanize Eldia, to remove Titans, right?
Right.
Since only Eldians can become Titans.
Right.
Yet, as Marley and soldiers point out, Titans are becoming more and more useless.
Okay.
Yeah, because we saw in the first episode, we saw this unknown country be able to fight against the Titans rather well. And it literally took a suicide rush by Gabby to stop them.
Okay.
And every time we hear Marleyans mention, the anti-Titan weaponry is getting better and better.
Right.
So I find the hypocrisy of having to remove Titans and like euthanize all of Eldia to be kind of delicious, when in reality, Titans are being phased out from war as we speak.
Yee.
Like, there'd be a point in time in that show where the Marleyans would just kill all the Eldians because there'd be no point for them.
There really isn't at that point, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a delicious irony in that when you talk about Eren and Zeke's actions towards the real world, and it makes it painfully obvious that there's more to Eren's goals, in a sense.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I gave the first part a 10. It was that good.
Ooh. Oh, I just random non-anime news, but DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Clippers. I didn't know that. All right.
The NBA.
RB. RIP.
You
all
were
right.
talking a bit quietly.
Really? I'm
a little bit. But
I'm
let's
really
go
close.
to number 2. Let's go to number 2 on Annie chart.
I'm really close to the thing.
Promised Neverland Season 2.
Do I sound better?
You sound literally exactly the same.
Sad.
Oh well, I'll just pay attention a bit more. But yeah, number 2 on Annie chart is Promised Neverland Season 2.
I didn't watch it, but
I regretfully watched it. We're going to talk about Cloverworks a bit when we get to a certain other show.
It's kind of weird because they played it. Yeah.
Promise Neverland Season 2 was an unbelievable disaster. It's just here's the thing, and here's the thing I want to point out and make crystal clear. Skipping stuff is not bad. I actually think you should skip things that don't really work, right? Yeah. Apparently, Horror skipped a bunch of things. It hasn't hurt the show at all in the slightest.
Okay, yeah.
But the problem is because they skipped it, they didn't know how to react to it. And it absolutely destroyed the pacing.
Yeah, if you don't even know what you skipped, it's like, what?
Like, they skipped the Goldie Pond arc, which was a massive arc. And it's like, okay, you skipped it. I can live with that if you in turn are able to make the things better, right?
Yeah.
But instead, it felt like they just skipped the Goldie Pond arc and literally just went to the next arc after.
Yeah.
And it was just totally 100% rushed. The pacing was off the fucking wall after episode 4. It made me not give a shit about anything. And the saddest part is I think the Promised Neverland story isn't that bad.
It's not. I've actually read the manga. I think it's pretty much... Well, I think it was very close to the end, but it was good. It was good.
Like, it wasn't that bad. The idea of Emma being physically and mentally drained because everyone she's with is suffering and she's the one who decided we need to escape is interesting. Norman being this antagonist for a while, hell-bent on destroying the demons, is interesting. Isabella turning on the Rantry family and the farm system is interesting. Murjik and Sanju, something I'd sink my teeth in. But none of it felt at all well written because we were literally going from point A to point C in about half a second.
Right.
And then, and then, the final episode, right?
Yes.
They ended it with a PowerPoint presentation. Pretty much everything that happened, they pretty much just showed Murjika becoming the queen of the demons and them overthrowing Sanju's older sister. You know, the demons who installed the farm system.
Right.
In a PowerPoint presentation. It really does feel that either A, there was no plans for a third season, so they're like, fuck it, we need to give them an ending, right?
Yeah.
Or B, they had plans for a third season, but COVID threw it out the fucking window.
You can go with
the
former.
Either way, Promised Neverland 2 was a dumpster fire of an anime.
Spade.
Which made it really frustrating because, again, I think Promised Neverland's story in the season wasn't that bad. And if it had more time to cook, I think we could have had something either equal or at least near the quality of season 1. So in the end, I gave it a 3 out of 10. It was it's not worth your time. And it's an utter shame that it happened to this show.
Yeah, it's actually really sad. It wasn't in the first season wasn't that bad either. It was actually pretty good.
First season was great.
Yeah, that's this.
The thing I was impressed about the first season is how they were able to tell a story in the same place. Like there was no change in setting, nothing.
Yeah, it was the same area for the entire season, yet still gave us an incredible story. And I don't know. Yeah, kind of disappointed in this sequel.
Oh, yeah, no, it was bad. All right, number 3 on Annie chart is Horimiya, actually.
More by Cloverworks.
The one show to not get hurt by Cloverworks. We will get to that in a minute. It ends in a couple days, but I can say Horimiya, probably one of the better romances of all time.
Well, that's good. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I have heard that apparently the main character loses her virginity in the 3rd episode. What?
No.
Or does it in the 3rd episode?
I mean, no. There was no sex in the 3rd episode.
Really?
No.
4th?
No. Chewie, there's been no sex.
Really? I thought this was... Okay, well...
But what I was about to say before you interrupted me with that...
I thought the main character did it, and I was like, wow, this is very mature of Japan to be like, hey, we're gonna openly, do that, but then they didn't.
Well, actually, about that's the thing I'm actually gonna say. I think Horimiya is shockingly mature for its story. Like, there's no drama. There's no love triangle bullshit. It's just a straightforward show about relationships.
There's no drama for drama's sake, basically.
No, like there's a little bit of an issue, but then it's pulled off in a comedy's sake. And it's just, I like how straightforward it is.
Okay.
There's no in-betweens, there's no turns, there's no twists. It's just relationships and how people react to them. And I just really enjoyed it. Plus, I think the art style's absolutely incredible.
Right, yeah. It is. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, no, and I'm probably going to end up giving it a 9.
Actually, all those eyes are pretty big. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I'm probably going to end up giving it a 9 because I think it's one of the better romances we've seen.
All right, nice.
All right, next up on Annie Chart's list is Dr. Stone's Stone Wars.
I watched all of season
1
of Dr. Stone and maybe 1 episode of Dr. Stone's Stone Wars.
The one thing I have to say about Dr. Stone's Stone Wars is that it feels less like a sequel and more like a finish of season 1.
Really, yeah, should have just...
Like, it feels like season 1 part 2.
It really should just been a part of season 1 was just a separate core, really.
Yeah, but I think the coolest thing about Dr. Stone season 2 is that it is just really, really satisfying. Like, it's straight. There isn't much that happens in Dr. Stone season 2 because, what's the best way to say it? It's so focused. It's so kind of like Horimiya. It's so straightforward, focused on what's happening.
Like it never loses sight type of thing.
Yeah, it's just the Stone Wars. That's it.
I mean, that's the whole entire thing. It's the conflict,
it's
right?
It's just the finale. It is just the
between the main character Senku and Tsukasa.
It's just the conclusion of everything that's been built up
in season 1. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
it doesn't need to be anything else, and I think that's what made it. It's kind of shocking how simple it is, but it's also not when you actually think about it. Also, this frame is amazing.
I don't know.
I just put it in the garbage dump.
Oh.
But yeah, no, that's what caught me off guard, is because it's how straightforward this is. There really isn't much change with any of the characters outside of Crom, really. And that isn't a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, because it's really... I don't know. It's I guess it's kind of hard in a sense to fully change in this type of story, because like,
it's just what more can they add to the Stone Wars, right?
Yeah, I feel like Tsukasa maybe changed a little bit at the end, but not really.
We got a little more in depth on Tsukasa, that's for sure.
But yeah, nothing really that.
But it also makes me wonder, okay, now that we're out of the Stone Wars, what's season 3 going to be like, right?
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, because season 3 is already confirmed. It's already in the works.
I think from there, they actually...
Yeah, they're going around the world in a sense.
And they
no, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. And I gave Dr. Stone Wars a 9 out of 10.
I have no say, but I read the manga, so I'm a throw in with
All right, let's talk about Cloverworks. Wonder Egg Priority.
Oh, you're going straight to Wonder Egg.
That's next on the Annie Charts list. I have it sorted by popularity.
Okay.
All right, so Wonder Egg Priority is it's pretty much a Madoka Magica type show.
Yeah, I kind of had an idea of that, honestly.
Yeah, and it's not bad. It's relatively good. I like the themes. I don't like that they introduced the villains so late in the series. I hate that.
They should have been really treated, hinted at least pretty early or something.
They really didn't, though.
Oh, they didn't. Okay.
Like, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, here's Thanatos. It's just like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden, these two guys created an android who was built to love them, but then she became jealous and killed one of their wives, and then caused their daughter to commit suicide. And now she's locked in a cage and causing torment. And it's just like, oh, that kind of came out of nowhere.
Lovely.
But what I want to talk about is the main thing that's gonna kill this show for me. The production at Cloverworks really fell apart this season. We've already talked about Promised Neverland and how it was a total train wreck.
Didn't Wonder Egg Priority start off with great production, though?
Apparently, it's been a total shit show since the start.
Oh.
Sources are saying how Wonder Egg Priority has been not that great production rise for a long time. And one of the claims is that it should have been delayed.
Oh.
But it's just you start to see that with the fact that it had a unplanned recap episode. Yeah, there was just a random recap episode in the middle of it. And because of that, Wonder Egg Priority isn't finished. And it isn't going to be finished till June.
With an OVA.
It's just stupid. How do you screw this up?
Maybe they really didn't take into account COVID.
Even then, COVID, this was a show. I don't know, man. It feels like production really screwed up here. Did Promised Neverland getting pushed back screw it up even more? Apparently there was a quote-unquote really ambitious people behind this, and they did not want to push things back.
I wonder if, the decisions they made on another anime, just for some reason, somehow, might have unfortunately screwed up another anime.
I don't know. It's hard to tell what,
But then Horimiya
maybe because they were working on Promised Neverland and Horimiya, they never had the chance to have the production over there. But, that doesn't make any sense if that's what you planned. It's just it's unacceptable, especially with the fact that, according to this guy, Aniplex have been purposely trying to hide how much of a mess the production was.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, they say Aniplex is a question mark. But the committee apparently was trying to hide the mess that it was, and it is a mess.
Yeah.
And I just don't get how they why is scheduling in anime and video games, for example, such a fucking tire fire?
There's something there that we just don't know about.
Yeah, no, there is, and I'm not going to act like I know the reason, but like we hear about this time after time where production studios, productions are just awful. This situation here, there's been many other anime situations, and of course, Cyberpunk.
Again, I don't. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe one day we'll be delivered by somebody, a savior, who will make it clear to us what's going on. Why everyone just sucked ass the last like 10 or 20 years.
It's just really, really strange to me how often we can look and say, okay, this is a production issue.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, get this. I've been told there's a production committee apologia for a certain wreck based off of misunderstanding. An animation producer ended up hospitalized multiple times.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Is this Cloverworks?
I don't know who it is, but like I think it just shows that there's still a lot of work to do in the production side of the anime industry.
Yeah, everything in general.
Yeah. Oh, and because of that, I knocked Wonder Egg Priority down 2 points. It's 6 out of 10. I am really critical on stuff like that. Yeah. Next up, Mushoku Tensei. The stuff everybody loves. It's great. I can't deny it. It's great. Are there some stuff in it that I'm like, why are you showing this? Yes. But once it got to the point where it sent Rudy Eris into the demon world, demon continent, it became absolutely fantastic to me.
Yeah.
And I'm generally interested to see what the second part brings this summer.
It's the build-up, my dude.
I gave it a 9.
Incredible, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. 9. I've read it, so I kind of know what's going
on. Speaking of isekais that are better, Slime. Slime Season 2 had something that Slime Season 1 really didn't have. It had a brutality to it.
An impact.
No, a brutality. Because, like, the main conflict happens when the humans attack the monsters, right?
Yes.
And they kill a lot of people.
They do.
So how does Rimuru reply? Oh, he's just going to massacre everyone.
Yeah, with that merciless skill.
Yeah, and then his countrymen, his soldiers attack, and it's just, there was such a cathartic satisfaction to seeing the people just kind of get what they deserve. Also, Rimuru killing like 10,000 people on his own, which is a simple skill, was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life.
Merciless, man.
And yeah, honestly, I didn't rate Slime since I was going to wait till I watched part 2.
Yeah.
But unless part 2 completely falls flat, I think Slime 2 is a 10.
Wow.
I really like it. I like how the story's going. I like how the pacing's going. And I like how we are finally getting starts of stories. Like at the end of this season, Veldora's back. We finally saw Hanada for the first time.
Yeah.
We're getting more introductions to the demon lords. Like, there's just a lot good in Slime combined with the fantastic, satisfying moments. Like, no, I think Slime 2's on its way to a 10.
I'm going to give it a 9.5. I saw, what's his name, Noir in Veldora. That was enough for me.
Alrighty. ReZero Season 2, Part 2.
I know what. Go ahead and rant.
10 out of 10. It's utterly brilliant. I have no bad things to say about it. The fact that there are so little fights, yet it kept me completely hooked, is insane. Visually, it's brilliant. Seeing Subaru grow into Amelia's knight after what he was in season 1, almost losing everything, is amazing. I love the story with Roswaal. It showed that he is more than just this somewhat gay clown. I heard you laugh.
Didn't expect that.
I really liked how this season, I just like how this show did not rely on battles all. Sure, the battles are here. I loved watching Beatrice and Subaru just obliterate all the rabbits. The battle between Ram and Roswaal. ReZero found a way to combine emotion battling to such a degree. It had so many just like holy shit moments that it's a 10 out of 10 to me. The whole season's a 10 out of 10. I want season 3. I want it now. It's the best show of the winter.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, Chewy, it's now time for you to talk since we're on to Skate Infinity.
You didn't watch it, did you?
No, not a chance. Maybe later.
Honestly, it hasn't ended yet. Again, the final episode hasn't come out yet, but out of the 11 episodes so far, I like it. I mean, I've never really thought that, hey, would you like to watch an anime about skateboarding? And be like, sure. And in my head, I'm like, they're gonna scream out every single trick they do, because it's anime. But no, they don't do that. In fact, they really work up the pace. They throw in like the most unconventional, though then again they come back and they're like, hey, it's anime, so they throw in this like the fighting part of this entire skateboarding thing and make it ridiculous in some cases. But really, this anime was actually really well done. Like, not just the production, like the art is amazing and the animation is amazing. The music so far has been pretty good too. There are some moments where like the course looks a little weird with, I think, the CGI art, it almost seems like, but that's not like a huge factor because they didn't do that too often and didn't make huge impact really. But really, what drives the story, or well, not just the story so far was pretty interesting so far. I don't know if it would be very, I don't think it's like really like original per se, but what is nowadays, right? But what really I think sets this all apart are like the huge dynamic of different like characters.
Yeah, it does really feel that the characters in the show are definitely, I want to say, flamboyant.
Yeah, it does seem like that for sure, because like there are so many scenes where I'm like, I'm pretty sure this could pass for being in like in a boys' love manga or something like that.
I mean, that's anime nowadays. You could say that about 90% of the shows.
But nah, it's the characters, man. They really drive the story. It's not like, and it's not just the main characters either. I mean, it does get into like, hey, how Reiki feels like how there's like a big gap all of a sudden when it's like his new friend Langa, who just got introduced to skateboarding not that long ago, becomes one of the best skateboarders he's ever seen in his life. Like, he does things that he's not able to do, and he skateboarded longer than him, and other people skateboard longer than him, and he's still doing things that are like completely crazy because he's a natural born athlete, thanks to snowboarding and stuff like that, right?
Characters probably feeling a bit left behind and just like, well, this guy's literally just starting and he's already better than me.
Right. And then there's like, so there's Ricky's growth with that and how he then starts to feel alienated and a bit also like how he doesn't understand why getting frustrated with that, and then, you know, with the combination of being afraid of like how he can't keep up with people like that not just manga in general, but like Adam, the main antagonist so far.
Mm-hmm.
And like his growth from seeing like, from that to understanding that, why did I skateboard in the first place? And like, why does Langa have fun and things like that when skateboarding? Is because he's with his friends and he's enjoying it together type of thing. And it's like, it's very simplistic, but that character growth in itself was pretty decent. And then Langa learning about like why he loves skateboarding all the time. It's like, it's fairly obvious, but like it took a while for him. But one of the best ones so far, character-wise, is Adam himself, Marcel. Adam was brought up by 3 aunts that disciplined him all the time, pretty much, in a sense, to show their love for him. They disciplined him out of love. And in that case, right, he's never really experienced love, like the other side of love. The whole, come here for a hug type of thing. The intimacy. Mm-hmm. He only experiences the discipline of that. And that because of that, it's warped his sense of his personality. He sees love as it's a benevolent thing, but most of the time you're doing pain to the person that you love in a sense. It's to make it tough, basically, and show that you love them. You're being tough on them. That's it, basically. That's the way he sees it. That affects how he he does things. Because like when he was a kid, his like servant taught him how to skateboard in order to like get by his his disciplinings and stuff like that. And then he skateboarded for a long time in secret, and became really, really good at it. And he met all of his other friends, other characters as well. Joe, Cherry, these senior skateboarders that show up at S. They all grew up and skateboarded together until somebody found out and destroyed his board. And at that point, that was a turning point in Adam's head that he's like, well, I've lost everything then in this case. Like, if I'm not able to skate anymore, what am I to do? How am I supposed to escape? And then the fact that his servant friend who was there to teach him didn't like stand up for him either. And it's just like he becomes so twisted. It's like, it's gross, but also so intriguing. And then and to make it even more interesting is that later on there's a tournament that was announced at the end of Skate that Adam announced to find out who's the best skater of them all in S. And then his servant friend, who he grew up with and who was going to who taught him skateboarding, entered in and was like, I was the one who introduced you to skateboard. I'm going to be the one that takes it away from you in the end. Because you've changed so much. It's like, I think that it was a mistake to introduce you to skateboarding type of thing. But then, like, okay, bit of a spoiler, but in the very like semifinals of the match, Adam was supposed to fight another guy named Shadow, another character, but he got injured. So they threw in a last minute replacement, and it was Ricky. He decided to throw in Ricky because he wanted to shatter Snow's confidence because of, Ricky's and Langa's relationship and how they actually did repair it too in the end. Coming to kind of reparations. So he wanted to show tough love again to Snow, to Langa, by beating the shit out of Ricky, basically. But Ricky actually, like, with his ingenuity, he finds that, like, he's not like talented per se, but he knows his stuff. He loves skateboarding to the point that he knows his stuff. So he banks on a whole bunch of different, like, he makes risks at this point with his gear and with his moves and everything like that. Nothing too crazy, but he makes risks nonetheless and takes on chances. And he somehow, it's a neck-to-neck fight, basically, at this point, which is completely like unforeseen by anybody, and everyone starts cheering Ricky's name at the end, even though he's lost, like a neck to neck. He lost at the very end, of course, but like he was neck to neck, but his name was being cheered on, and it was just at that point, the servant noticed, like, okay, like this is because he finds it fun, and was it really a mistake in the end or something? Like me introducing Adam to skateboarding, could it be like persona, or like looking at Ricky and like he was reminded of sort of his sort of outlook and Adam's outlook on skateboarding as well, and it was just like, was it a mistake in the end? Which then forces, well, it doesn't force, but it makes him understand at that point. He drops out the last minute, and he's just like, I believe Snow Langa is the best person who can reclaim your skateboarding, basically, and teach you what like skateboarding is now. To Adam, of course. And that's gonna be the final episode, is the final race. So far it's been, I find it amazing, honestly, like Adam's type of story so far, and that it wasn't even fully the main characters, like the protagonist's story in the end. It was Adam's story in the end, basically.
Interesting.
That kind of overshadowed a little bit, but I liked it. I liked having these two type of three technically, but a bunch of stories being lined up together and somehow like resolving each other in the end. So far it's been fun. I give it an 8 out of 10, a solid 8.
I definitely will say Skate's probably something I'm going to look at later this year. I always like looking back on shows that I missed.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But let's move on. I want to mention 2 shows before we get to the next one. 1, the quintessential quintuplets. Don't watch it. Please, for the love of God, don't watch it. Like, I just want to go on a quick rant. I have never seen a more disrespectful ending to a manga in my life.
Rip.
Like, it's just like, oh, yeah, all these girls and relationships, you develop that you make in love. Fuck you. Let's go for the one we haven't even tried developing yet.
Oh, my Discord just froze on me.
And next one, redo of the healer.
Oh, Marcel. Uh-oh. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello?
What can we replace Lucas with?
Hello?
Dun, dun, dun.
Hello?
I heard something. Lucas, you back?
Hello?
Hi, Lucas.
I don't know what the heck happened, and I don't know if the recording caught any of that, but my computer froze, and yeah.
Well, we're still going, right?
It looks like it, yeah, but I don't know what they picked up, so you might want to.
Who knows? Anyway, let's go to the next one. Well, first I want to say, like I said, quintessential complex. Fuck that show. It's a disrespectful show. That author literally just shits on their viewers' hopes and dreams. Redo of a healer. It's a great hentai if you want to watch it.
Just no actual hentai part, but yeah.
I mean,
show it.
You go to hanime.com and you can definitely find the hentai.
Yeesh.
But next up on the list, Beastars Season 2.
Ah. Negoshi looks weird with the haircut.
Yeah, he does. The best way to describe Beastars Season 2 is it feels like this was the conclusion of the first phase. AKA, after this, the world's never going to be the same.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Like the main idea is that last season was a lot about interspecies relationships, right?
I don't know if that's Okay, yeah.
This felt like more of just taking that and just throwing it into the world. Because, like, a lot of it was about just carnivores and herbivores together.
Okay.
Not just as lovers, but as friends, as companions.
Okay, yeah.
And I really liked seeing the reactions of everyone. Some were obvious. There were some, like, herbivores that were just generally like, yeah, no, I'm too scared. I kind of want this to happen. But there were a lot who banded together. Like, where's his name? Oh, God, it's so hard to find. I think it was Bill the Tiger. Yeah, Bill the Tiger. And, like, watching him band together with one of the sheep or whatever they were was interesting. And you saw the drama club unite in the sense of, like,
They've already
went through it and like, no, we want to continue to be together. And then you see, oh, wait, no, the killer who killed Tem is in the drama club. But what I like is how they really represented the killer's feelings. Because the killer's feelings
is that he's not him, basically, right?
Exactly it. Because you learn that carnivores who are above a certain size need to take these drugs to kind of weaken themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this can break someone, right?
These drugs are hardcore.
And it goes on to the idea that carnivores aren't really allowed to be themselves.
Nope.
And of course, yeah, this does lead to X eating Tem. But you could see something like that in other carnivores that don't involve eating someone.
Okay. Yeah.
And a lot of that is shown really well. And then we got Lewis, who, I'm going to be honest, it was hard to understand what Lewis was coming for, right?
He wanted the booty.
Well, he left the school and he joined the dark side, right? Oh. He was the leader of a lion gang.
Oh yeah, he's the antelope guy. Gazelle guy.
Yeah, he was a leader of a lion gang.
Yes. Yakuza.
And I can't deny I did not understand a lot of what Lewis was doing because it felt like Lewis didn't even understand what he wanted.
Maybe he was just struggling for something, I guess.
But yeah, no, I really liked Beastars Season 2. And if there is a third season, it's going to feel drastically different since they're removing the school aspect and going more into the real world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the panda is amazing.
Oh.
But yeah, I'd say Beastars Season 2 is about the same length as Beastars Season 1. It's about a 9 out of 10. But next up on the list is Kimono Jihen. Have you watched it?
I've read it. It's good.
All right, let's talk about Cells at Work and Cells at Work Code Black, since they're pretty much the same shows.
Okay. I'll say 8 episodes. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Cells at Work was only 8 episodes. I think Cells at Work really showed why it's the better version.
Because it's not chaotic and dumb.
Code Black just feels like a consistent kick to the nuts.
I mean, I think that's the main point, isn't it?
That is the main point, but that also means it's less entertaining to watch.
Yeah, because it's so serious.
I also think the ending was incredibly stupid. Why couldn't you just give them a happy ending?
Because the people that make the writing is the masochist.
But also, I think Cells at Work just told a better story. The cancer story about how it was taking over the body and manipulating some of the cells to fight other cells was far more dark and interesting than freaking, he's got kidney stones. Oh, he's having a heart attack. Oh, he can't get an erection. Yeah.
Speaking of erections, Oridake Haireru Kakushi Dungeon is basically softcore porn.
Serious?
Yeah.
Do tell. Because I do not deny that softcore porn does sound interesting sometimes. Oh God, it's barely got a 6.26 on Mao.
You know why? Because it's basically softcore porn.
Boing, boing, boing. What's that sound? It's a sound of another average harem ecchi.
Yeah.
That's great. So it's basically softcore porn. Do explain, Chewy. I'm sure the random viewers who stumble upon this would love to understand why you think Last Dungeon is softcore porn.
Literally, the main character's powers is anything that reacts to his libido. He gets energy points, basically. With these points, he can become stronger, like editing skills or copying skills or, making skills or something like that. Making stuff. Mm-hmm. So in order for his libido to be triggered, he must do everything and anything that stimulates stuff. The foreplay, kissing, fondling, having the boobs pressed on the back, the thighs, just kind of feeling right next to his thighs type of thing, his hand on maybe her thigh type of thing, getting licked in the ear or whatever that is, or kissed in his tongue kissing type of thing.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Is it worth watching?
I mean, you want softcore porn? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let's move on.
4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 for the softcore.
Okay, Spider. I think Spider is criminally underrated.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was pretty good.
I really like it. It's got an entertainment factor that I don't think I've seen from shows this year. It's just really fun to watch. I love the power system, and I really enjoy how they're telling the stories they're pretty much telling the same story, but from a split view.
Yeah, the whole, having multiple views in an isekai. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really adorable. There's just something really cute about this show.
It's cute, but then it's kind of interesting, and you say that too because it's a spider trying to live and eating all these disgusting monsters.
Well, I mean, she's gonna be battling her mom next episode. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, her mom's kind of crazy.
The size of the Eiffel Tower, yeah.
It's a demonic.
Can I also just say I really like the battles?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like the battles. That battle against the Earth Dragon last episode was really well done, and I liked how it ended, how her frustration with the Earth Dragon just giving up and letting himself die while she's literally fighting for her life.
Yeah.
That was a really nice touch.
Are you actually going to give it a ranking, though? Because it's not even done, I don't think.
If I had to say its current ranking, it's at about a 7.5.
All right. Yeah. It's not bad.
I think it can push itself up, when they meet the Demon Lord, who is just, oh my God. Just step on me. Please, just step on me.
Oh. I'm going back to Last Dungeon for that softcore porn now, I guess.
But yeah, no, it's at about 7.5 right now. It could easily push itself up, though.
Wait, did you also rate Cells at Work and Cells at Work Black yet?
7.5 and a 6.
6 for Black, 7.5 for... Okay. All right.
All right, let's move on to EHRPG Season 2.
EHRPG. Okay.
This is the best comfy show in existence.
What's the word? They actually have a word for this, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, this is the best. And I'm just going to say, Non Biori and EHRPG are just comfy at its finest.
Okay.
Like, it's just, but one thing I like about Eurocamp, it feels like the presentation is better. The art style of the places they go to.
Okay.
Both those shows, Eurocamp and Non Non-Biori, get 9 out of 10s for the exact same reasons.
So. Okay.
Comfy. Yeah, comfy. Log Horizon Season 3. Hard to believe it actually happened.
It did happen, though.
I know, it's shocking. I'm going to watch the final episode today.
I actually watched this entire thing to myself.
Wait, you watched Log Horizon Season 3?
I did.
Oh, so what? Okay. I have my opinions. I want to hear yours.
I don't know, man. Oh.
It's something. I'm glad it happened. But I'm starting to realize Log Horizon's major flaw. If it's all talking, it's boring.
I mean, that's the whole thing. It's supposed to be a political economic show.
The thing is, here's the thing though. The second arc, when they were talking about Krusty,
yeah,
when they were interweaving the battles that Krusty was going through, that was awesome. Yeah, it had the same political feeling while watching Krusty rip somebody's head clean off.
It's just that, not everything's going to be exciting, and it's like, okay, fine, I guess.
But the first arc, while it had an interesting premise, the election, I fell asleep. It was boring. And you can say, oh, well, what about ReZero? ReZero was mostly talking. ReZero had stakes in every moment, right?
I guess you just weren't invested enough in this one.
No, I was invested because I love Log Horizon. But I'm starting to realize just how boring the show can be. Because think about in season 1 when they were bringing down the guild that was kidnapping the girls.
Hamlin?
Yeah, sure. There was a lot of talking, but it always felt like it was building to some epic conclusion, right? In the raid arc that started season 2, again, a lot of talking mixed in with fighting and some epic moments. Log Horizon is at its best when it's finding a way to spice up the moments. In the first arc of this season, it was miserable.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
But what I will say is the final arc been pretty strong.
All right. Yeah, no, because it's the whole... Yeah, the final arc so far.
Yeah, the final arc's been pretty strong for a multitude of reasons, but the main reason is it's kind of a showcase at how strong the kids have gone, since they were kidnapped by Hamlin.
Ironic, because really it's the kids in the end that were, most of them at least, that were taken by Hamlin.
And it's also a good showing at, how important the adults are to them, when the monster is, destroying their memories.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's weird. Log Horizon is what it is. There is no denying it.
Yeah.
But there's also no denying that Log Horizon can be boring as fuck.
Really, if you just don't follow along with it, and yeah.
This was the first time watching an arc of Log Horizon where I genuinely felt bored.
I feel like if you don't... It's not the fact that you not only... It makes it even worse at this point if you don't understand what's going on, what they're talking about.
Yeah. I'll use an example of a comparison. The first time the couple episodes they spent at the castle in season 1.
Okay, yeah.
That was entertaining. That was interesting. It was interesting to see them react to the NPC king.
Okay.
Here, I barely understand what that blue-haired guy wanted. Like, what did he actually want? Control of what? Against who? Ainz literally looks like he's a guy. When Ainz first stated why he believes the Round Table to break up, that was legit. Because in reality, the Round Table not having any decisional power would make it kind of useless because they get actually nothing fucking done.
If not enough people basically said they wanted to do something or all agreed because they were autonomous, right?
Yeah.
That means nothing would be done in that case. And because of that realization, people left and people became uncertain as well. And then, of course, Krusty's not there, so the DDD clubs or DDD.
Yeah, and then that leads Ainz to join this random person. But we never really get a real reason as to why.
Okay, so I got the reason there, so I followed along a little bit better, I think, in this case then. Basically, the Saigu family?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how the Saigu family is like a branch family of the Imperial family that was lost, though, right? Due to the what was it? The fighting with the Alves, the original inhabitants of Yamato. So to the people, of course, the Saigu family is basically the Imperial family, right? But right now, there's sorry, the only other Duke family that exists besides the people in the Eastal, the Crowns, basically, right? The Rhaenicia's family.
Yeah, another badass old man.
Yeah, is the guys in Westland. The how should I call them? I think they were called the Land family. Which basically makes like sense because
doesn't his whole issue have something to do with that evil maid?
A little bit, yeah. It so where Nuzuhera,
Plant Vyden,
Plant Vyden, but because Nuzuhera is technically the leader, she's actually been because of season 2, she's actually doing basically the opposite of what the plant
if I remember, she's trying to set up her own power base in a sense.
Yeah, and she's trying to help out in her own way.
Yeah, well, Insidious is trying to be like, no.
Indicus, Indicus is trying to basically fuck everyone over because they want Plant Wyden to be more than just that, right? They want to fuck everyone over, basically, in a sense, or be the best and then look down on people because that's her whole.
She's a psychopath.
That's her whole shift. But Nuzuhera is actually with the power of Plant Wyden right now is actually setting up for trying to calm down the Westland people in a sense. Or calm down the area, basically. She's actually helping the Saigu family and Izuri in a sense, but that's all she can do is that she's literally a figurehead, though, right? She doesn't have any power, really.
Yeah, she's literally just a fucking... She's just literally a puppet.
A bit in this case, but most of her influence is really to the adventures than anything else, not to the people of the land so far. So the Land family, though, the people over there, the nobles that have been congregated over into the Westland area, went and made... You know how the Eastal has the Eastal independent trading colonies, right? So they actually set up their own empire, which is the Holy Westland Empire now. Because of the whole, hey, we got to hold a Saigu family over here. Hey, we also like one of the Duke families, right? We're one of the best, and we're gathering out the rest of the nobles. And due to the fact that they're gathering all these nobles, what's his name? Iori or whatever? Uri, the prince of the Saigu family that was supposed to be married off to Rhaenicia for the whole Eastal colonies and Westland Empire to give good relations type of thing. He doesn't really have that much power because the noble families and that Duke family, the Land family, actually have started to congregate together, and they became something what was known as the Senate. And what the Senate wanted was the prince found out as well is that they were actually planning on going to war. because they wanted Eastal. They wanted Akiba and Eastal, and they wanted it all, basically, still. They wanted to claim it underneath their flag of the Holy Westland Empire, and because they also wanted to use the Saigu family as sort of a as the main reason as well, like the, how should I say, the casus belli, Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the good enough of a reason to not be called warmongers by the people, so they can claim the land underneath so the Saigu family, which is the imperial family now in that case, even though they're not. But the whole marrying off was supposed to be one of the things that was supposed to calm it down in a sense. But the next step that they actually took, thanks to Ainz, was that they set up a duke officially in the Kiba area for the Westland Empire. So that the what was it? Technically, in a sense, or no, not by the Westland Empire. Sorry, by the Saigu family. Sorry, not the Westland Empire. By the Saigu family, was that it would set up sort of a third power in a sense, so that the prince, who technically still doesn't really have any say over in the Westland Empire, could basically shadow support Ainz, who would be the Duke in this case, and who would try to basically take care of all the people in the land and the adventurers in the area and rally them as a third power in this case.
So his whole idea was to stop the war.
Yes. And because Ikibo was technically in Eastal, but there is all this land on the left, on the western side, that they could use into basically no man's land in a sense. They could turn that into what they were planning to do was making it a neutral territory, so that at that point the Westland Empire would say, okay, so it's not the third powers, it's not Eastal's, and it's not ours. So that would then put them at ease in a sense. Due to the fact that, of course, there's a third power there, and then nobody has this area, so nobody can invade each other in a sense. But that was all dashed away because Shiore, won the election, but he also won the election by opening the gate.
Yeah, I remember that. He opens the gate and connects the world, which leads to fucking...
which leads to the Westland
Silver
Empire.
Sword coming back, along with Best Boy, the giant angry dude.
Yeah. And all the other people around the place, basically, to vote.
Yeah, and Renishia then won.
But not only did they open up the gate so that those people could vote, but in long-term effects as well, they also mentioned the gate, Marcel, as a double-edged sword, because not only could you move from it from different places instantaneously, but you could get instantly invaded as well. And because the thing is, in Minami, where the Westland Empire is, there's a gate there that's active. So that literally means Akiba is pressuring Minami right now. And Minami is pressuring them to the point that they could instantly go and attack the Westland Empire. So now that entire plan has completely been thrown out the window in a sense here. And yeah, that was basically the opposite of what Ainz wanted, but and the prince, but it didn't go their way in the end, right? So yeah, it kind of screwed everything up. Basically, he was trying to prevent a war.
Man, if only Log Horizon's first arc wasn't so boring.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe if there's a fourth season that happens, we'd get to see more. I kind of wonder one thing, though.
I kind of like the fact that Silver Sword came back, though, in the round table and replaced the Honesty, even though...
Silver Sword is back with William.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But I kind of wonder one thing, though, and I think you mentioned this a couple episodes ago. Whatever happened to the plot about connecting the real world to the game world?
So they made references to it as I went through the episodes, but they never really said if they ever found out anything. And there was that weird thing too in the very first episode. People were disappearing, Marcel. as they explained in the episode itself, if you leave the game, like leave the game, exit it, uninstall it, delete your account type of thing, you don't show up in your friends list. Like any of your friends list that have you as friends. But there's like 36 cases so far that they found out that random people are disappearing and they're not showing up in the friends list. Or they're showing up as like, in some cases, they're just offline, right? But some of them are not showing up in the friends list. So they're actually theorizing, Shirai was, and what's his name, the Shopping Street 8 or whatever, he was theorizing that they might have returned back to Earth. Like they might have logged out, actually, somehow. So they were talking about that. And then also Shirai was talking about like, oh, beyond the moon is like where the other world was. And it's like, oh, okay, that's because you know how he died and with Akatsuki and stuff like that, they went to the moon.
End of the moon. Yeah, no, I get it.
When they looked up though, it was not the world of
it was Earth.
It was Earth. It wasn't I don't know what it's called now, the game that they're in, something Tales.
I don't know.
It wasn't the game world. So it's just like, okay, so there's a beyond.
It's kind of like a Gundam Build Re-Rise situation.
Yeah, beyond the moon, where there's apparently a server and stuff and a place, is Earth, and there's potentially people are going back to it, basically, in a sense, these missing people. But again, don't know yet. It hasn't really gone that far in it. That was the only mention of it so far that I know. So it was kind of interesting, but at the same time kind of disappointing because they'd never really gone any further than that. Because they're all into this coming arc, and it's gonna be hopefully ending with this last one, and we'll have a fight. Showing off the raid powers there. All right, next up, do we have like what, X-Arm or something?
World Trigger.
I watched this as well.
I'll give it a shout.
Okay, you know how I originally said that the World Trigger had improved a bit with the not recapping
I'm
full episode?
sensing you're gonna say that's wrong.
I was half wrong.
And
here.
Why is this, Chewie? What happened in World Trigger that made you realize something?
They still took about a minute or so just to recap. And then the theme song kicked in. So it was basically 3 minutes and nothing for a bit.
Wait, how's that bad?
3 or 4. Here's the thing. I don't remember how long the original World Trigger first season recaps were, because I remember there was like, they took a while.
Well, also you gotta remember,
like
the original World Trigger was 70 plus episodes.
Yeah. So I was a little bit wrong, but I wasn't like completely wrong. Thankfully,
so you're literally getting mad just because they had longer recaps?
That, and for whatever reason, when they do these recaps, they do this like weird fade to black just to cut between them. They're not doing like, they're not cutting. They're not doing like snap cuts or whatever they're called. They're fading out to this weird black and then instantly come in with another scene. It's like, okay, this is some weird editing, but sure. But yeah, besides that, actually pacing was pretty decent. They got to the rank wars with the whole thing. They're in the second battle now, I believe. They've also come to one of the turning points, actually, where the main character, Mukomo Kuga Chihaya? Chitori? I forget her name. Chi-chan, something like that. These three, Tamakoma second squad, they realized that there is a lot of flaws in their new tactics, because they're employing new tactics now, because first season, I think one of the last episodes, they lost in the upper B ranking wars with other squads, and they've realized that they need to change up. they need to upgrade, basically. They either need to relieve some of the burden to Kuga, who is their ace, basically, and the one that mainly gets all the points in this case. They either need to relieve him of the burden, or they make his job way easier in one of two ways. They either A, step up to the plate and get some kills too, or B, they become extremely reliant, but in this case, they become extremely supportive of the ace itself, making the ace not just a regular ace, but in this case, a super ace in this moment, by putting all their gear and tactics into supporting the ace. And that's what they did. They changed their tactics into being extra supportive of the ace. But then there's the whole problem, right, where what if Kuga goes down early for whatever reason? So now it's a turning point in the anime where actually, or manga technically, this series, where from last season there was one neighbor that was captured and a prisoner and stuff like that. Hughes was his name. Mm-hmm. He actually offers to become their second ace, as long as he can go back to his home world, which is what they're planning to do, right? So they're planning to go on the away team, whatever, to go and find the missing people from the years back and stuff like that. So he's now officially part of their team. They need to win one more battle, and then they by themselves, and then Hughes has to join them in the second battle, and they have to basically, get into the top 2 of the B ranks. So I think it's already at episode 11 though, so going to assume that episode 12 is just going to be, hey, finish up this last battle, then second part of second season, I guess, is going to pop up, and then they're just going to finally incorporate Hughes into their final battle, and it's probably maybe going to be another 4 episodes or something like that, because the battle is a pretty long one, honestly. But no, yeah, it's actually been pretty good. Fights have been consistent, consistently fun. How simple the entire system is, how their fighting system, their abilities and stuff like that. I mean, it's it seems simplistic at first, but then the way they utilize it, the way that they're thinking, it's are these really kids? Are these really kids?
Isn't that a normal saying in anime though?
Yeah, but I think this is extra on this one, because these guys are all in high school, and maybe the youngest so far that I've seen that's actual agent's 20 something is Jin or something. 22, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. These kids are thinking out of they're thinking out of the box here, and I'm dude, I just want to get an A in freaking social studies or something, man. It's English, I don't know. But these guys are going off and doing tactics and sniping. It's wow, okay. Yeah. But yeah, so far not bad. I'd say about maybe 8, 7.5, maybe 7.5 out of 10.
All right, I got one. I actually got 2 shows, but I got one more for the normal ones. Uma Musume Pretty Derby Season 2 is my favorite show of the winter.
All right.
Surprising, I know. I wrote my review a couple days ago of it. I wanted to give it a 10 out of 10. I really did.
Oh.
I thought Season 2 was incredible.
Oh.
Season 2... Oh, what's the best way to describe it? Season 2 has a very open focus. I.e., it has the focus on Tokai Teo and Mr. McQueen, but the focus itself, in reality, is more about how everybody else reacts around them.
Oh.
Because this season, it really focused on how sports stars and sports fans and teammates react to adversity.
Yeah.
So, and I think they did a bang-up job because they showed off how a fan would react to seeing their favorite sports star being forced to retire due to injury or sickness. It showed the reactions of the trainers and the teammates who want to sit there and help, or who want to like say, no, this isn't it. But kind of like the sports star themselves, they have to face reality.
Right.
And it also came into that too with the sports stars themselves. Do I keep going? Do I keep pushing forward even though it's probably not going to work out?
Okay.
Like, you know that type of feeling, right?
Yeah. It's it's an uphill battle, basically. Really steep.
And it did a really good job of it. I kind of like the twist. Because the whole issue was with Tokai Teo, her broken leg. She broke her leg 3 times in the season. And it's Measure McQueen being like this rock for Teo. And eventually they get through for Teo, like, you know what? You may not be able to run the same way, but you can still run if you work, right?
Okay.
So episode 11 and half of episode 12 is all about Teo, training, getting better, trying to adjust her running style to avoid breaking her leg again.
Okay.
And then Majiro McQueen suffers an injury that forces her to retire.
Right. All right. That's
she suffers an injury that's forcing her to like, I need to retire because I can't keep running. So Teo's just like, I'm going to show you can still run. I'm going to show you can beat this. Then she goes and wins a race against like some of the best horse girls out there after a year off. And it's just like, yep, this got me.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole story of like a comeback from like sports in general, or like anything really in general, is like an inspiring story. Derek Rose coming back from his like crazy ankle injury. Yeah,
Eric Berry in the NFL coming back from cancer.
Yeah.
Hell, Oscar Sundqvist from the NHL coming back from cancer. It was a show that literally was showing that no matter the situation, if you have the willpower and you believe you can do it, you can find a way to do it.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. And it was a nice twist at the end because you felt like they were going to build up to like, okay, it's going to be Teo versus McQueen to end the season, but we didn't even get that. Instead, it's Teo trying to reignite the passion for McQueen, showing that, yes, you have this injury. Yes, it'll be tough. Yes, it may not happen, but you can still try.
Right.
I have to say that last race was... The races in general by Uma Musume have some of the best camera work in anime.
Yeah, okay.
The camera adjusting perfectly to get the emotion of the scene. The sounds of like the hoofs hitting the ground.
Oh, okay.
It's just really good. And I think it's surprising me because this is an anime about horse girls.
Yeah.
And yet it is so... Season 1 had this too. Season 1 had the emotion of Special Week trying to prove to herself that she can be, special. But like Season 2 was just like... it just hit so hard. And I wanted to give it a 10. I wanted to give it a 10 so badly.
Yeah.
But it's a 9.5. It's great. It is worth your time. And I generally hope we see another one.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, no, never mind. No, never mind.
Also, this is like the first really good anime for Studio Kai, so good job, Studio Kai.
Yay.
Well, I got one more left because it's something I watched when I visited my parents.
Ah, lovely. This one.
Yeah, it technically aired in the winter, Chewy.
I'm gonna end it right now.
It is High Rise Invasion.
I'm ending the recording right now.
No, you are not.
1 hour, 23 minutes. Let's go.
We're almost done.
Okay, fine.
So when I go to my parents' place, I always tend to watch, shows on Netflix that I haven't watched. I watched Shoujo Nozaki-kun, JoJo. High-Rise Invasion is easily one of the best shows in terms of just, oh, it's so bad, it's good.
Okay.
The main character is this girl named Yuri, right? And the whole idea of High-Rise Invasion is people are transferred to another world of a bunch of high-rise units, right? And there are these people in mass whose main goal is to get you to kill yourself.
Oh, is this Tenku Shimpan? Yeah, this
Yes.
is Tenku Shimpan.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the main goal is to get you to kill yourself, right?
Yeah.
Except they literally change that within half a second when mass are literally killing you.
Yee.
That's the thing about this show. This show literally just does not know what it wants. One moment, Yuri is breaking down at the fact that she has to go through all of this, right? The next moment, she's John freaking Rambo shooting somebody's gun out of their hand.
Yeah, so, here's the thing about Tenku Shimpan, Marcel.
Yes.
Tenku Shimpan was actually, the manga started off in the view of Honjo Rika, the brother
her
of...
brother. Yeah.
No, like, it literally, the entire manga, from the very beginning, started with him. And it actually supposed to be with him for, like, over, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to be honest, Rika does play a huge part in this.
50 or so, 60 chapters.
Okay.
And honestly, when I read the manga, it was what the fuck. But it was also like the craziest shit I've ever seen, but at the same time it was interesting because it was at that point of time and like there was a lot of other horror manga that was coming out. And this one just seemed very, very interesting.
It's different. I will say that it's different.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know why they shifted all the way to Rika all of a sudden, like the animated version too. It's like, if you're gonna do that, couldn't you just like...
Wait, you said the manga started off with the main focus on Rika, right?
Sorry, Yuri, yeah.
Uh-huh. Wait, so the manga... Okay, return. The manga was focused on Rika,
the brother.
and yet the anime has a more focused on Yuri.
Yeah, but the thing about the manga is though that they shifted over to Yuri afterwards.
Oh, so like halfway through they shifted over to Yuri.
Yeah, and the thing is it was all Rika for like a long time, and then it's just like, hey, Yuri just got in. We gotta head over.
God, I think I know what they did.
Did they just like do in media res or something?
No, I think I know what they did. I need to ask you a question. The beginning of the manga, right? Did it involve, before shift over to Yuri, was there a battle between Sniper Mask and Rika? Because I think I know what they did.
Before they shifted over to Rika?
Before they shifted over to Yuri. So like before, like you said, chapter 50, was there a major battle between Sniper Mask and Rika?
I mean, there was, but then they, for whatever reason, the Sniper Mask was just helping them out.
No, I'm asking because in the story, the reason why Sniper Mask starts helping them out is because after his battle with Rika, the mask got shipped, and apparently that allows you to not be controlled by the mask.
He's got snipped?
His mask got chipped, broken.
Oh, I see.
And apparently that happened in his battle with Rika.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking is, did that battle happen in the manga, and did it happen before the switch to Yuri? Because what I'm thinking, and just this is what I'm thinking, is that the anime just skipped that entire part, like the first 50 chapters.
Probably then, yeah.
Because that would explain why the focus was immediately on Yuri.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is there was a fight for sure. But the thing is, like the common sniper was already helping Rika after that. He was already showing like evidence that there was something going on.
Ugh. Like this, and let's just continue with the talk just for a little more, because like the insanity in this show is out of this world.
1 more minute till 1:30, Mark.
Yeah, don't worry. After this, we can start the next episode.
No, we got to talk about the favorite openings and quick. Go.
Oh yeah, that could be quick. But yeah, no. Let me just say that this show is one of the best bad, but it's so good at shows. And I would genuinely like to see a second season, just because by the end of it, I was like, I want to see this train wreck even more. I consider it the new High School DxD, not the High School DxD, High School of the Dead.
DxD.
Because there's no denying High School of the Dead is a piece of shit.
No.
But it's so bad, it's good.
I don't know. Maybe they'll go back and be like, hey, we're going to go actually start from Rika's now point of view. And his was actually earlier than Yuri's.
I also love how this is the same studio that made Grand Blue.
Yeah.
I also find it funny that
Hey,
in terms of shows that what's its name? Netflix gets made personally. Like Netflix literally is the reason why this got made.
Yeah.
They make this piece of shit.
It's crazy enough to work, I guess.
But yeah, let's talk about it. I've already named my favorite show and best show. Best show's ReZero. Favorite show's Musume.
Best show? I don't know. I feel like I think I'm gonna give it to maybe Slime or even Kimono Jihen, actually.
You said you hadn't watched Kimono Jihen.
And finished it, no.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. What was your favorite, though? Like, what was the one that you woke up wanting to watch every week?
Last Dungeon.
Of course.
No,
favorite opening?
Kidding. Skater. Oh, no, wait, no. Honestly, no, yeah, Skate. Oh, favorite opening, come on. It's got to be Skate's opening, Paradise.
I really liked ReZero's opening, even though they used it only twice.
Paradise by Rude. What was the opening for ReZero?
Let me just look it up. ReZero to OP2. Artist Miyashima Mayu Song Long Shot.
Okay.
And of course, endings. I'm sorry, I didn't listen to a single ending, so I'll just say Inuyasha.
Okay. I actually also liked World Trigger's opening too.
All right, well, that was our winter recap.
Favorite character?
Oh, that's very easy. Levi from Attack on Titan.
Frick, I don't know her name. Milia from the Big Boobs from Last Dungeon. Let's go.
Oh.